everyone. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Takeover Tuesday. Oh my gosh, I am so excited for this episode, and I will tell you why in just a few minutes, but I want to check in with all of you and over in SMP Nation today, see how your guys' weekend was going. How was the weather? We always seem to talk about the weather. It got a little cloudy over here over the weekend, but I feel like within the next few days, we're going to get some sun and I'll be able to go outside and go in the sun. So that is super exciting. But I want to say good morning and see how you guys are doing today, because it's a gorgeous day today and a perfect day to get some inspiration, get some fun projects going today, or maybe some projects finished while you're watching. I don't know. It's up to you. But let's see who's on today. Good morning, Linda Brooks. We got Kathleen Queen. Good morning. Sandy Marino. Hello. Hi, everyone. Ann Philbeck. And yes, you guys know, you already know who's going to come on, but I'm going to give her a proper, great introduction here in just a few minutes. But, oh, there's Kyle. There's a shout out to Kyle. He's working on, I'm not going to show you what's going on down here, but he's working on some final touches for Fabric Palooza, which is finally happening. The wait is over. It's happening this Thursday, 10 a.m. Are you guys so excited? Because I'm so excited. So excited. Okay, let's see who else. All right, Bernadette Evans, good morning. Susie Clausen. She's from, did you say from on top of the world, Florida? Is that a real place? I don't know. I want to know if that's a real place. We've got, let's see, Joan Keelan. She said, yippee. That's our quote of the day. That's our feeling of the day, is just yippee. That's how excited I am for today. Debbie Poole's in the house. Susan Tapp. Good morning, everyone. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for today's episode, and I'm just glad that you guys are all here to join me. So, what is today's episode, you might ask? Well, we have an amazing guest coming on, as you might have seen from the thumbnail and the promo, the amazing, the one and only Miss Reen Wilcoxson. She is such an amazing educator, and I personally love all of her products from Embroidery Garden. She creates some great designs, and if you are a bag lady like me who loves bags and purses and all of those things, Embroidery Garden is way up your alley, because she has tons of in the hoop purse designs and bag designs, and we're going to be watching her make one today, and I'm going to try and follow along too. And if not during the show, after the show, I want to try and make my own bag of what she's making today, because it is amazing and so cute, and I really want to try it. But yes, Reen is amazing, and I'm sure you all know how great her education is and how great her designs are just in general. They're awesome. So I thought we had to get her back on the show. She's been on here a few times before, and every time she kills it. It's just great. So I'm so excited to have her here and ready to teach us some new techniques and maybe show us a new project if you guys haven't seen this before. But quickly before we get into this show, oh my gosh, I'm seeing all the good comments coming down. I hope she sees these comments too. But real quick before we get into the show, I just have a couple of quick announcements that I want to share with you before we bring Reen on. But I just mentioned Fabric Palooza. That is our next show happening this Thursday, May 18th. 10 a.m. PST. We are actually going over to the studio today to prep and get everything ready. But when I tell you guys, we have pallets full of fabric. We really do. We really do.
And I had to go through them all.
Yes. Yes, Kyle, he is going through them all. He's taking pictures of every single one.
Made me lose my voice.
Yes, he's working so hard, he lost his voice. So if he sounds a little, it's not the audio cutting out, I promise. But yes, Fabric Palooza, we are so ready. We are so excited for you guys. And we learned, obviously, with the last Fabric Palooza, we learned how much you guys love fabric. We didn't quite know until we knew. And so we had to come back better than ever with even more fabric. So that way, hopefully it doesn't sell all out and you guys miss out on getting some of the fabric. But my little tip for you guys is to be quick. Just be quick when you see something, go get it, add it to your cart, and it's awesome. And I believe, so just real quick, we're doing 1 yard for $7.99, just to let you guys know before Thursday. 1 yard cuts are $7.99. 3 yard cuts are $21.99. I'm sorry. 3 yards, $21.99. And if you buy 7 or more yards, you get free shipping. How awesome is that? So you could totally get a bunch of fabrics from Thursday's show, make a quilt with all those fabrics, then tag us and share it with us and let us see the finished product. Just an idea, or whatever projects you have in mind. But let me know if you guys have any projects in mind for the fabrics you guys are going to try and get on Thursday. So yes, Fabric Palooza, got through that, and now Hoop Fest. Hoop Fest is coming so soon, and I feel like I've got a big embroidery crowd here today because we are talking in the hoop and embroidery. But Hoop Fest is going to be amazing. We are already getting started working on it. Submissions are open. So if you know the rules of Hoop Fest or you don't, head over to our website and click on the Hoop Fest banner, and that's where you can find all the information for Hoop Fest, and you can go submit a project. I believe there's no specific requirements. Like Quilt Fest, we did like a traditional and a modern category. This is completely open. So any embroidery project that you have that you might think win a crowd, submit it, because we want to see it, and we want to see it get some votes and hopefully win and take home that dream giveaway and the first place prizes and all of that. But you guys already know how we roll when it comes to giveaways and how we roll when it comes to prizes. So don't even worry. Don't even stress. We already know we're taking care of you on that. So don't worry. All you have to do is just submit a project and share it and just get as many votes as you can once voting opens. I will let you know when voting opens. I don't know off the top of my head, but I will let you know. You'll be the first to know. And yeah, your homework for this week, your Takeover Tuesday homework is to submit a project. Maybe even the pattern and the bags that we're talking about today. I don't know, just a suggestion. And if you ever need more suggestions, just feel free to comment or post in the Facebook group and we will give you some ideas, because why not? Everybody get involved. Need some more inspiration. And speaking of Facebook group, some ways that you can stay connected with us here at SMP is through our social media. Of course, we have Instagram, Facebook, YouTube right here, of course, and we've got TikTok. We've got all the things. If you just look up SewingMachinesPlus.com, you will find us, and that way you can stay updated on all of the things and the fun stuff that we're doing here, because we always want to keep you in the loop. So you guys can have the first chance at the big savings and the big prizes and whatever the things are going on. We want you to know about it. And of course, we do have our emails, which our amazing Roger, that's his head. There you go.
Hello.
Say hi, Roger. That is the amazing Roger who puts together the most prestige emails for you with all of the discounts and all of the things that you can find out about fun coupons and discounts and deals and events and classes for our retail stores if you are local. So lots of ways you can stay connected with us and just hang out with us. And then of course, right here on the shows. So if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, what are you doing? What are you doing? We're always putting up such fun content here on our YouTube channel. So I suggest right here, I'll even do a little pause for you. I'll pause, go down to where it says subscribe and hit that bell notification so you know every time that we post. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll wait. I'll wait. Just right here. You do it? Okay, good. Good, good. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's get started with today's show. And like I said before, we have the amazing Reen Wilcoxson coming in and showing us some really fun techniques for in the hoop embroidery and stitching out her amazing maker's bag. It is fabric and markers bag set. So let's go ahead and bring the fantastic Reen over into the studio and chat with her about these amazing bags. Reen, hello.
Hi, Kennedy. How are you?
I am so good, and I am so happy you are here. How are you doing on this Tuesday?
Doing great. Great to see all the people here today. I see a lot of familiar names.
Yes, and do you see all the amazing comments that they're leaving as well? I'm like looking through, trying not to get distracted.
Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it.
Yes, I'm so happy. That just makes me so happy that everybody is as excited as I am to see what you're going to be working on. So talk to us about what you're going to be working on today.
Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you one of the bags from my fabric markers bag set. So my fabric markers, let me just switch my camera so you can get a better view of everything. So here's the set. It consists of 2 in the hoop bags. They have vinyl on the front so you can see what's inside. There's a 6x10, which is the one I'm going to be doing today, and it's vertical. There's a 5x7, which is horizontal. And then these markers come in the set also. If you have followed me for a while, if you stitched any of my designs, you know that I've been using a lettering system for years, to label the different pieces in my designs. So say you're cutting out, some of the projects, maybe you like to cut multiples, then you would just, cut all your A pieces and put the A marker on top. Cut all your B pieces, put the B marker on top, or slip it down inside of a bag that maybe you're keeping all of your pieces together in. These have, I think you can see that shiny, these have vinyl on top of these also to keep the felt. They're 2 pieces of felt to keep them, nice and neat. And I also included numbers 0 through 9 because I know some, maybe some other companies, they like to use numbers instead of letters on their designs. So I've got the numbers in there too. Some people have started doing this. They make extra letters so that their kids can do some spelling. Keeps them busy while you're stitching. And, you can stitch out as many of the different letters as you want. Maybe add a couple more vowels in there so the kids can, spell anything they want. And maybe they can do some auto addition or something like that also. But basically, this is what the set is. And I am going to be doing the 6x10 bag today. It is a zippered bag, again, with a vinyl front on it, fully lined. There are no raw edges anywhere in this bag. Even when it's opened up, there is nothing raw in here. And this is what we're going to be doing today. How do you guys like that project? Well, hopefully you guys like it. All right, so let me just kind of move some stuff out of my way. And we're going to get started. And I'm going to kind of show you what I'll be using to make this bag. Grab my kit. So we need a zipper. Don't think that this is a metal zipper just because it's shiny. This is what they call a faux metal zipper. It is a nylon coil. So you're never, ever going to use metal in an In the Hoop project. So I've got my zipper. I've got my fabric pieces. Here's my piece of vinyl. There's also batting. And I'm going to be using my 6x10 hoop. And what I've hooped is a no-show cutaway, like a poly mesh. And I am also going to use a hoop and press pad. I know a lot of you have my hoop and press pads. They are really essential when you're doing in the hoop designs. And I'll just talk about them a little bit, but you're going to see them in action. We have bundles. These are sold on SMP also. Includes a 5x7 size, a 8x8, 8x12, and here's a 6x10. You can get these individually or in the bundles. We also have them for Bernina hoops, which are oval. They are sold in a bundle. And, you may not know, recently, I'll say within 6 months, we came out with the multi-needle package, a bundle. So that's for multi-needle machines. But the hoop and press pads, I'll tell you more about what they do as we kind of go on and make the project. So let me kind of move my kit pieces over. And again, like I said, I've hooped my no-show mesh stabilizer. And I went ahead and I stitched the first step, which is just the zipper placement line. We have to know where we're going to put our zipper. Let me grab my zipper. And I'm going to be using tape to get my zipper lined up. The zipper is going to go right side up. I always tend to put the zipper pull on the left-hand side. That's just me. If you wanted to do it on the right-hand side, you could. But you want to get the zipper between those lines. I have to turn my hoop sideways. It just makes it a little bit easier for me to get my zipper in place. I'm going to grab a couple pieces of tape. I'm going to tape the very end of the zipper. Again, making sure that it is lined up. The edges are lined up with that placement line. And I'm going to tape it down on the opposite end too. To just get the pull out of the way. Put some tape there. The most important thing is to make sure this is lined up nice and straight with the placement lines. If you wanted to add a couple of pieces of tape on either side, you can do that. This happens to be a zipper that's not too long, so I am going to skip putting the tape on the sides. We'll go over to the machine. I see a question about hoop and press pads, and we're going to be using them really soon. So let's just get the zipper stitched down. And what the machine is going to do, it's going to stitch along that zipper tape very close to the edge of the zipper tape on both sides of the zipper. That way, we don't have to worry about our zipper moving at all on us. And a little thread tail right there. Kind of put it out of the way for now. But the second step stitches that zipper down, so we don't have to worry about it. The design set that I showed you that has the 2 bags and the markers, SMP does carry that. All right, so that step is done. Go back over to the table. I'm going to trim that thread, that tail I had. And another thing I'm going to do, I can take this tape off because the zipper is now stitched down, but I'm going to take my pull and I'm going to just kind of tape it off to the side. And the reason I want to do that is because I don't want it flopping around down here and getting into an area where the needle or the foot may hit it. I can take this piece of tape off because, again, the zipper is stitched down. I'm just going to keep that pull tape down, and I'll be watching it as we're stitching the design out. In the instructions, and all my instructions include, exactly how big to cut the pieces of fabric, it gives you everything that you need. In this particular design, the first 2 pieces, A and B, it tells you to fold them a certain way. After they're cut, they're basically long rectangles. You fold it in half, press it. Then you take one of the long edges, fold it into the center mark that was pressed in, and then fold it down and press it again. What these 2 pieces are going to do in the bag, it's actually this piece here on the front of the bag on the outside, and this piece that's on the inside of the bag. The vinyl gets kind of encased between those 2 folds so that the outside of your bag, let me hold it up here a little bit, looks just as nice on the inside. So you see, it's just very pretty. It's very clean looking. There is no kind of, anything showing. And someone just asked about the tape I use. I use a medical tape. I've used this for many, many years. You get it at drugstores, you get it off of Amazon. But I take the tape, let me grab a couple pieces here, and then it's easily torn into skinny strips. I don't like to use a big 1-inch or 1/2-inch wide piece of tape, so I just kind of cut it or tear it down into strips. Okay, so the first step of the design is to go to the back side. This is where I'm going to use my hoop and press pad. So with it on the table, hoop and press pads all have a non-slip surface on the back side. So when you put it on the table, it's not going to slide around as you're trying to work with it. So I'm going to take my hoop and lay it upside down on the hoop and press pad. Now I have support underneath my hoop to work on the back side. A lot of times when you do in the hoop designs, you have to work on the back side. And I can tell you from years of traveling and teaching, when we had to go to the back side of the hoop, I would see people taping things on the back side and just pressing and pressing so hard on the back side that they were literally pressing so hard they were touching the table underneath. And what that was doing was dislodging their stabilizer and putting their registration marks or their stitching, offline. So with the hoop and press pad underneath here, I can press as hard as I want on the back side when I'm trying to tape something. It also comes in handy when you're going to iron on the back side of your hoop. And we'll talk about that in a little bit because I will be ironing on the back side. So the next step of this design is to take one of these pieces. They're exactly the same piece. And I'm going to line up the unfolded edge with the bottom of the zipper. I just get it in place, grab my tape, and I'm just going to tape it down. And you can see I can press really hard. So it doesn't matter what kind of tape you use. We all know, some tape sticks better than other tape, but no matter what tape you use, you have to be able to press it down really hard to make it stay, on the project. Next step is to go to the front side of the hoop, take our other piece, which is basically the exact same size and folded the exact same way as the one on the back, and place it with the unfolded edge, even with the bottom of the zipper. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tape this in place too. Our next step will be to stitch that piece I put on the back side of the hoop and this piece that I put on the front side to that zipper. Let's get over to the machine, making sure that that piece on the back side, nothing happened to it, still in place. And we're going to go ahead, and this is stitching those pieces to the zipper. Kathleen, you need one of those press pads? You certainly do. They are so, so handy. So now this is stitch those two fabrics to the zipper. I'm going to come back over to the table, and we're going to go to the back side. Camille, you could add straps. You could add straps basically to almost any design. And look what happened. It did. I must have let that fold down when I put it on the machine. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to clip that away. It only caught the very edge. I'm going to go back up, take my machine back to that last step. Make sure this time that it is not folded over. And let it stitch this step. Whoops, got to put the handle down. It just didn't catch right there at the front, or it did catch the back side right there at the front. Yes, Denise, it is a nice little bag to store threads in, and I showed that a little bit earlier. I can show it again. All right, we're going to go back to the table. And ta-da, I didn't catch it this time. So I am on the back side, so I've got my hoop back on top of the hoop and press pad. You just get it, there we go. I'm going to take this tape off because I don't need it now. But what I want to do on the back side now is I'm going to, this piece was folded, remember, I'm going to fold it down now. And this is a really great time to press this down, to press this fold right here. So I'm going to use my little iron that I have. And with that hoop and press pad underneath, I can easily press this down. If you were making a bag by just machine sewing it, you stop and you press as you go. So why not press as you make something in the hoop? It makes your project turn out so much nicer because you're able to press and get things to lie flat. So I'm going to tape this down. And remember, what we're doing here on this bag that I showed earlier, the vinyl is going to get encased between the folds of these two pieces. So this is like the back side that we're working on right now. It's going to encase that vinyl. So we're going to go to the front side now. I could take the tape off because this piece is stitched down. And it's time to put our vinyl on the front. So I have my piece of vinyl cut to the size it needs to be. And what I've added here at the top edge is a small strip of, it's like 1/4 inch double-sided tape. This is used for, when you do hems, when you insert zippers, things like that in sewing. And the reason I'm using it in this design is because this piece of vinyl gets very slippery. And if you don't secure it down, you're going to take the chance of it not getting caught, of it moving. So I've applied the tape there. You can probably see the sticky. Yeah, you can see that. And I'm going to remove the paper and I'm going to put it sticky side down. And I'm lining up the top edge with the vinyl. I know it's hard to see because it's clear, but I'm going to line up this top edge with that seam that just stitched. So let me get this in place. I got a couple of strings in there. That one won't show. All right, so I've got that edge lined up with that stitch line. And now I'm going to fold this down. And when I fold this piece down, this edge will line up with that edge on the back side. You can see that edge on the back side right there. When I fold this down, you can see that they're going to line up. I am going to tape this, but one thing you should kind of know, some tape may leave marks on your vinyl, leave a little bit of residue or something. So make sure that when you tape it, let me pull this tape in half. Make sure when you tape it that you're way over to the edge. So if something does happen to get stuck on there, it's not going to be seen in the final design. I am going to take my iron. I'm going to be very careful because, our vinyl is right here. You don't want to touch the vinyl, the iron to the vinyl. But I am going to iron that down just to get it nice and flat. And again, my hoop and press pad is underneath here, so I'm not pressing directly on my cutting mat. What the next step is going to do, it's going to stitch 2 lines here, one right under the other. And that's going to secure this piece of vinyl inside the bag. Let's go to the machine. I'm looking on the back side of my hoop to make sure everything looks great. And we're going to stitch these next 2 steps. Now, while that's stitching, I'm going to show you a couple of alternatives. So I'm using clear 12 gauge vinyl. You can use, if you want, mesh fabric. This is the By Annie's mesh fabric, and I know S&P has this on their website. And you could use this, 1 layer. And you could use that in place of your vinyl. Also, you could use this. This is called pet screen. It's colored pet screen. I got this years ago. I don't know where you would get it at now, but you could Google for something like this. And it's very soft. You can see that you can kind of smush it up a bit, but it comes back to the shape it is. It has a smaller weave on it than this does, but this could also be used in place. You just can't use fabric. Well, I guess you could use fabric, but you wouldn't be able to see inside of your bag if you used fabric. All right, now this is done stitching, so I'm going to bring it over here. And let's get a nice look at that. Look how nice that stitching looks and how nice and even it is here along the bottom. There's that fold. And let's look at it on the back side. And the back side looks really nice too. You can see it there. So now this piece of vinyl, it's encased between this folded fabric on the front and the back. So it gives it a really nice finished look. And I'm going to take the tape off because I don't need it. This piece of vinyl isn't going anywhere. It's sewn in. So now the next step, we're going to start working on the bottom of the design. So let's go back to the back side of the hoop. Put it on top of the hoop. Whoops, I'm sorry. I have to stay on the front side. And there's a reason. It's because of this vinyl that I won't be able to see it from the back side. My next piece of fabric is going to go right side down with one of the long edges, even with this end of this vinyl here. So let me get it lined up. Tape it down. And this stuff is slippery, so you're going to kind of have to watch, to make sure that you keep the fabric even with that piece of vinyl. Put one tape over here on this side. Now I'm going to go to the back side. And this is why I wanted to put that piece on the front. You may not be able to see it really well, but I can see that bottom edge of the fabric from the back side now. I'm going to take the next piece of fabric, lay it right side down, and line it up with the bottom edge of that piece of fabric. Get some tape, tape this on. What I like about this bag too is this is the piece we're actually putting on now. This one on the outside and the inside. So when we're done with our bag, we don't have vinyl in the corners because sometimes it's really hard to, turn something and turn it nicely if you have vinyl all the way down into the bottom corners. I'm just using a 7511 needle, nothing special. And let me get this on the machine. This vinyl is not really thick. I mean, it's 12 gauge. It's still pliable enough that you can turn the bag when it's finished, but it's not too thick, that you could not turn it. Mary's asking about how do you get creases out of vinyl? Well, we're going to do a little bit of that when we're done, when we're turning the bag. But let me grab this hoop off the machine, come back to the table. So if you had a roll of vinyl, let's say, and it had a crease in it, you can't touch it with an iron. You could, use maybe a couple of press cloths together and put it on top and try pressing it. You could take your iron and warm up your mat and then place your vinyl on top of it and just kind of rub it around to warm it, to make it relax, to get the creases out if you have any. Basically that's it. I try to keep my vinyl rolled up on like an old, paper towel, cardboard tube, something like that, so that it doesn't crease. Okay, the next step, we're going to add a little bit of padding down here at the bottom of our bag. So this is just a piece of like Pellon 988 or any kind of batting. Warm and natural works, doesn't really matter. But I'm going to take this edge and line it up with that seam line that's stitched right there. And I'm going to fold this piece over. And I am going to press it, but I'm going to be very, very careful that I am not touching my vinyl. Pressing just makes everything so much better. It really, really does. I am going to tape it just so that it doesn't move on me. And the next step is going to stitch a line just right here, right underneath that fold, just to hold it all in place. Let me get it back on the machine. And I see that piece folded a little bit. And it's just doing, whoops, sorry. It's just going to stitch a line across there. So, like I said earlier, there are two sizes of bag. The 6x10, which is a vertical, and the 5x7, which is horizontal. They're both stitched the exact same way. One is just horizontal and the other one is vertical, but it's the exact same way. Right now we're stitching this piece down here at the bottom on. The little markers, very, very simple to stitch. They are just felt, two pieces of felt with vinyl on top of them. So let's grab our hoop. Okay, you can see it just stitched that line right there. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah. So now we go to the back side. On top of the hoop and press pad, take these pieces of tape off. That piece is stitched down. And now I'm going to take this piece and fold it down. And I'm going to iron it. And I'm using my hoop and press pad underneath there, so there's absolutely no problem with ironing it. I am going to try and stay away from my vinyl, but I can get a nice crease when I fold it over. Go ahead and tape that down just so we don't have a problem. A lot of times, though, I find I really don't have to tape some things if I've pressed it really nice. So that's an advantage to hoop and press pads. I still have the tape up here from this piece, and we don't need that anymore. So I'm going to take that off. I'm going to take another piece of fabric. It's going to go right side down, and I'm going to put one of the long edges even with the top edge of the zipper now and tape it in place. So this piece is becoming this piece here on my finished bag on the inside. And then we're going to turn the hoop over and put an exact same piece of fabric on the opposite side. And it will be the piece on the outside there. So again, it's going to go right side down, one long edge, even with the top edge of the zipper. Get it in place. Add a couple pieces of tape. Find my other one here. And now this next step is going to stitch a line here, which will stitch this top piece of fabric on and the one that we put on the back side. Go over to the machine. And remember, my instructions all come with step-by-step photos, detailed instructions telling you everything that you need. And you can always come back and rewatch this video too. And like I said earlier, S&P does have this set on their website. Let's take it off the machine. And we're going to come back to the table. I'm going to take the tape off. And just like on the bottom section, we put that little piece of batting to just make our bag a little bit padded. I'm going to take long edge and put it even with that seam line that we just stitched. Take the top piece, fold it over, and of course I'm going to press. And the fact that I have my hoop and press pad underneath there is helping me. I'm not pressing on my mat, my cutting mat. So let me get this taped in place. And now it's going to stitch a line right here near this fold to hold this fabric and batting down in place, just like it did down here at the bottom. It's going to just do it up here at the top now. Let me get this back on the machine so I can stitch that step. And, hoop and press pads are not only good for in the hoop designs, but they're also good for if you have to, like I said, like I've been doing, taping, folding fabric, pressing it, doing any kind of manipulation to the fabric. We're going to be doing a little bit of trimming here in a minute, and the hoop and press pad is going to help with that. Hoop and press pads are great if you like to do applique, because if you do applique, you want to really press your appliques from the back side. And let me just tell you why. Let's just pretend we have an applique here. We've got our fusible on, we've tacked it down, we've trimmed around it. And if you want to press it, if you would turn it over, put it on top of the hoop and press pad, you would know now that your fusible for your applique is facing upward. So you would press it here from the back side and it draws that fusible up into your base fabric. So they're great for doing appliques. And they're also just great to have by your machine in case, you're doing quilt blocks and you don't want to be getting up and down and going to your iron. It's great for that too. All right, so now this piece of fabric is going to get folded up and I'm going to press. I got my hoop and press pad underneath there. I'm just making a nice crisp fold. And let's go ahead and tape that in place. And the hoop and press pad lets me press down hard on my tape if I need to, so that my piece isn't going to move any. So let's see, our next step. Right here is where our zipper is on the back side. We need to cut out this little piece of stabilizer here so that we can access our bag from, so that we can just get inside of our bag. If we finish it and we don't trim it, then when we unzip the bag, we have stabilizer there and we can't really get inside. It is so much easier to trim this piece away now than it is to wait until you're done and try and get your scissors in here and dig at it. I need to turn my hoop this way because it's easier for me to cut. But with the hoop and press pad underneath here, I can take my scissors and I can feel that pad underneath there. A lot of times when you're doing this step, people will go too far down, and when they start cutting, they're actually cutting their zipper. So the hoop and press pad kind of tells me, all right, that's as far as you can go. You're not in your, you're not cutting your zipper. So I'm just taking my scissors. I made a little cut in my stabilizer, and now I can take my scissors and just run them along that piece of fabric. I'm not sitting there like chop, chop, chop. I can just run it along there. That's why I love these little 4-inch Kai curved edge scissors. They're my go-to for detail work, for appliques, etc. And I know that Sewing Machines Plus carries these. These are like my favorite all-time scissors. And again, all I'm doing is I put the tip down behind that stabilizer, glide it along, and I get this little piece of stabilizer out. And now I have access into my bag. So let's go to the front side and make sure everything's good on the back. What I want to do is unzip my zipper halfway. Remember, I taped down my pole so that it wouldn't be in my way. So I got to get the tape off of it. And I'm just going to unzip it halfway. And we are ready now to put the piece that is going to be the back side of the completed bag, right side down, centered over the entire front of the bag. Then we're going to put a piece of batting on top of that. And I'm just centering it over top. I kind of started getting low on this little pin fabric. So I didn't quite get it maybe as wide as I need it to be. It's going to be okay though. The next step is going to stitch these two pieces, the fabric and that batting, up here at the top of the bag. Let me get it on the machine again. We're almost done with the bag. So you can kind of see how quick it goes, really. So it's just doing that stitch there at the top. Anne says those are her go-to scissors also. Yeah, I love Kai scissors. I saw someone asking earlier what machine I'm using. I'm using the Brother Luminaire XP3. Lorraine says the fabric is too realistic for her. You think I'm going to stick myself on a pin. All right, so let's look at the design so far. Here's that stitch it just did at the top. Now we're going to go to the back side. Know that the piece you put on the back side is the one that's going to show through the vinyl when you're done. So, you know, it's kind of fun. You can fussy cut some fabric that to show through that vinyl. So I kind of went with the coordinating fabric. It's not the same, it just coordinates. It's going to go on the back side. Let me use my hoop and press pad. Take it the fabric, put it right side down, center it over the back side, and we are going to want to tape this in place. So I'm just going to use these pieces of tape I already have here. I got my hoop and press pad under there so I can press down really hard. We're getting some layers here on the back side. So we want to make sure that everything stays down. Make sure it's nice and flat. I'm going to come down here to the bottom and tape it on down here. All right, now the next step is going to stitch the bag together, and it's going to leave an opening for us to turn it. So let me get it back on the machine. And I'll give you a look at the machine. Sarah, I don't quite understand your question. I don't have anything about a flash drive in the instructions. It's sort of implied that you know how to get designs from, your computer to your flash drive to stitch them out. And someone's talking about the little iron. Yeah, it is the small Cricut iron. Normally, I do use my large iron, my full-size iron, but I'm kind of in a cramped little space here doing this demo, so I have to use a small iron. Okay, it's done. We're going to take it out of the hoop. And let me get my hoop out of the way. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to trim the batting close to the stitching all around. What this does is it keeps bulk out of these corners and out of your seam line. It lets it, push out nicely. I like to use my little scissors. Sometimes I use my bigger scissors for this. But again, I'm just stitching close to that, and I'm only cutting away the batting right now. Like I said, sometimes I like to use my bigger scissors. You just got to be careful. You're not clipping anything. You're just going to get close to the stitching is all. And it's just getting that bulk out of the corners. I do this on like all my bag designs just because it makes everything push out nicer and just looks so much neater when it's done. I might take my time a little bit more to get a little bit closer, but you get the idea of that. All right, so I need to find my opening, and my opening is on the back side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim all the way around the design, about 1/4 inch from the stitching. I thread match so well, it's a little hard for me to see my stitching. But I'm going to start at the opening. And again, the opening is right here. And what I like to do is cut on either side of that opening to about 1/4 inch to those stitches. The reason being is I have to leave this opening piece longer so I have something to turn in to hide my opening. I need some extra fabric to turn in. Then I'm going to go around my bag, like I said, about 1/4 inch. Now, sometimes when I get to my zippers, I don't cut them short, the zipper ends. Sometimes if you cut your zipper ends short, when you use your zipper, you could take a chance of the zipper pulling out. So just take your fabrics and kind of move them out of the way so you're not cutting the end of your zipper. Let me get around the zipper here. All right, now I'm just going to go around that rounded corners. This bag has rounded corners. Just round them. Come up the other side till I get to that zipper again. And then again, I'm going to go around the zipper. I will cut the edges down, but I'm going to go around it first. Let me just finish it off here. This is where my opening starts. Get rid of some of this trash out of the way. So I will cut the zippers down maybe to about 1/2 inch. They don't have to be that long, but leave them a little bit longer. I'm going to trim all this excess up here. I will clip into my corners. Put about 3 little clips in the corners so they push out really nice. Don't cut into your stitches though. If you like to notch them, you could also notch them. But just a couple little clips will help it to turn better. Up here at the top where the opening is, I need the 2 pieces that make the opening, but anything that's back here behind it, there's extra fabric, batting, and stabilizer, trim that down because I don't need that bulk there. And we're ready to turn the bag. Clean up a little bit of mess. I'm going to just reach down inside the bag, and I go to a far corner. Either one of the corners doesn't matter, but I go to a far corner and kind of just push that corner out, just kind of work it out. Now we've got vinyl in here, remember? So you don't want to, start doing this and kind of be like, okay, well, I'll just stop now and I'm going to go grab a cup of coffee. Vinyl will crease a little bit. So, when you start turning it, get it finished. And it's always harder to turn when you're doing this on camera. All right, so I've got it turned. Now this is our stabilizer here. Don't worry, we're gonna take care of this. I want to get my bag turned. And I want to use my turning tool. This is my favorite. It's the R&K Precision Turning Tool. And I'm going to get my corners poked out nicely. Get them poked out on both sides. At the bottom down here. There we go. I'm going to poke out some at the top. You could take your time and really get these corners poked out really nicely. I'm just going to kind of, get through this here. Okay, this looks pretty good. All right. Now, remember, this is our stabilizer is here. When you make this bag, you have your choice of using the cutaway no-show mesh like I did. You could use a water-soluble, the fabric type of water-soluble, and it would dissolve. You would do what I'm going to do now, which is trim away as much as you can. I'm getting my scissors under here, but I am not cutting my vinyl. My vinyl is right underneath here. I'm going to get over to the edge, and I'm going to trim it as close as I can. You would do the same thing if you used water-soluble. However, if you use water-soluble, let me just get this started. Good. I'll take my scissors here and get a big chunk of it gone. If you were using the water-soluble, you would trim just like this, and then you could use a wet Q-tip and clean up any little bit along the edge. The water-soluble, the problem with it is, if you get it wet, you steam your bag. You cannot steam your bag because that will cause your water soluble to crinkle up and crinkle up your bag. If your bag gets wet, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to crinkle. Now you could sit there and you could soak and soak and soak your bag to get all of the water soluble out. It's your choice, really. And the instructions tell you that. It goes over, if you want to use water soluble, that you're going to have to, get it all out and not use steam on your bag. And if you use the mesh like I did, you're just going to have to trim close. And I'll show you my finished bags. Again, I'm just trying to go a little quickly here. But I'll show you my finished bags. Here's one of them. I don't see, you might see tiny bits of stabilizer around, but you really can't see it. If you're doing it like I am, we're just going to trim it. And you would take a little bit more time than I'm doing here. You just have to be careful. You don't want to cut your fabric and you don't want to cut your vinyl. So we're going to just say that I've trimmed really, really nicely. I'm going to take the ends from the opening. I'm going to turn them in. You can use a fusible tape to close up your opening, or you could hand sew it, whatever you wanted to do. That is your choice. I'm not going to do it here today, but you would close that up. Fully open up your zipper. Then you're going to reach down inside and turn the bag one more time. And again, you want to, don't mess around. You want to get it turned. Get those corners poked out nicely. You can see that there's that fabric that I used, that coordinating print peeking out. Get the tops turned here. I would use my tool again, get everything pressed. And we can take care of some of the wrinkles here that are going to form in the vinyl, because we turned it. Let me just get my corners poked out. Get everything nice and flat. I like to zip the bag up. Now, you can press it. It looks really good, but you can press it. I would put a press cloth over the vinyl, definitely 2 layers probably. Use just a warm iron, and that should get rid of any wrinkles that you might have in the bag. Press it from the back side. Know that sometimes if you use steam, you'll get some condensation in here, but all you gotta do is like unzip the bag and it comes right out, and it looks great. Your bag is finished. So what do you guys think of that? Pretty easy, wasn't it?
Reen, that was so much fun to watch. First off, it was very satisfying seeing just like how the simple straight lines can just turn into something so fun once you turn it inside out. And I loved everybody's suggestions of, I could make this for my grandkids. I can make this, and you can make it with them too. That's the fun part. And I mean,
Right.
You could totally embroider something on maybe on the back or on the fabric before you put your backing on. There's so much you can do to customize that. And I love it. It's so adorable.
Right. You could, before you put this back piece on, the piece that shows through the vinyl, embroider their name, and maybe, they like dinosaurs.
Exactly.
One of my customers put their grandson's army men, those little plastic army men inside, and, put his name and stuff on there. Adorable.
See, I love that. And also, even just, of course, it's great for grandkids, but even as a gift too, everybody loves a bag that they can see through. Whenever I make bags or purses, I always try and do like a clear type of space to where I can see what's in there. It just makes things so much easier to see and grab, especially if you're running around with projects or threads in there. Oh, it's so nice. I'm like waiting so I can get the pattern once we finish here so I can make my own. So I'm so excited.
And you have the option too. I showed that fabric mesh. You could use that or that other type of, they call it pet screen. Like I said, I've had it for years, but it's just something different. Maybe you don't want it to be quite so see-through. So you got options.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. And everybody, while you were going, everybody's saying all the things that they would do this with. And just think about all the fabric combinations too. You could even quilt a piece of fabric if you wanted to and put it together. There's so much. And that's what I really love about in the hoop designs too, is there's so much room that you can customize and you don't have to just stick with, fabric 1, 2, and 3. It's really great to be able to.
I think it would look adorable to piece a quilt block and put behind here.
Yes.
And during the process, when you're making it, you saw I put the vinyl piece in. Well, at that point, you can always like audition what your back piece is, inside piece is going to be, because it's clear vinyl. You can just like set it over and try and fussy cut or
exactly
see how it's going to turn out.
Yes. And then I know somebody earlier suggested straps too. And you could totally, that's an option too. There's so many different ways. I'm just excited to see when people get their hands on the pattern to see how they kind of make it their own, because there's straps. The world is endless.
To add the straps, all you would do is you would add little tabs up here. They could be ribbon even. You don't have to make something.
Yeah.
And it'd be very easy to gauge where they would go, and you'd have to, add hardware to them,
Yeah.
little D-rings or something, but it would go on before you put that big piece on the on the front side of the hoop where you put the batting on top of it.
Yeah.
Do it right before that step, basically right after you unzip the zipper halfway. And that's when you would add them.
See, that is so awesome. I just thought of something too. I love going to concerts, and a new rule that's happening at a lot of the venues is you need to have clear bags. So I'm like, I could just make my own little, so all I'd have to bring is my phone and my wallet, and that's a perfect see-through bag that you can still make kind of cute,
Right.
maybe a little bit more stylish rather than just a clear bag. So I love that. I think that's so awesome, and I love that everybody else is getting inspired as well. It's so great. I love it.
I see a lot of comments coming through.
Yes, I know. I'm trying to get to them all. Cindy just said she had the same thought. See, I'm just anything clear like that. I love being able to just look through and see. I'm always carrying little things as well, like little lip chapstick or little things or hair things. I mean, whatever the options are, I think it's really awesome that you can just customize it. Even with the
you can
pins
make several of them, put them down inside of a tote bag, and your kids want this or want that. You just look and there it is. Okay, give it to them.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, Reen, thank you so much for coming on and showing us how to make this bag today. I had a lot of fun, and I am so excited to give it a try. I have so many ideas now going through my head. I'm like, okay, here's my list of what I want to do. But you did such a wonderful job, and your instructions are so clear always, and I'm never confused. You always hit whenever you say something, I have a question, then you answer it right away. So I love that, and just thank you so much. You're the best.
Oh, thanks for inviting me. I've really enjoyed this. It's always so much fun to, like you said, exchange ideas and get new ideas.
Yes, because that's the thing at the end of the day. I mean, we all kind of get inspired by each other, so we just got to be we got to open the door of inspiration.
Open the floodgates and just let it all come out.
The floodgates. Exactly. All right, Reen. Well, thank you so much again, and I hope that we will see you very, very soon.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye. All right, you guys, what an amazing show that was. And if you guys have never seen Reen before, please go check out her website, embroiderygarden.com. We also sell quite a few of her patterns on our website, as well as the hoop and press pads. If there is one thing that you need to take away from this episode today, is to invest in some hoop and press pads. They are so amazing. I have them over there in my little sewing area over across the pond on the other side of the room, but they are so amazing when it comes to just like what Reen was doing, where she was flipping the hoop upside down and doing anything on the back of the hoop. It just adds that little protection, and also you can iron with it on there. And also when you flip over, I wish I had like an example, but like here's a notebook for an example. Here's like a hoop. Okay, imagine a hoop. There's like a missing space, right? It's not all even when you turn the back of the hoop over to put your fabric on there, your backing, whatever it is. Having that hoop and press pad underneath makes everything flat, so you can, do your taping, get all your zippers in there, whatever it needs to be, and then also press once you're done. It just makes life so much easier, and I'm all for simple accessories that are easy to use and user-friendly. So that's the best. All right. I love all the comments you guys are leaving about Reen. She is the best. I'm hoping she'll join us. I don't know if it's confirmed yet or not, but I'm hoping maybe she'll join us for Hoop Fest, because she's like an embroidery master at this point. So hopefully soon. But let's go ahead and get into the next part of our show, which I'm sure you guys know. It is giveaway time. So let me get my music going. Let's start off, and let me know if the music's too loud. I don't think it is today, but let's go ahead and see what we are giving away today. So I'm going to share my screen. Just one second. Okay. Now, our first giveaway today is going to be the iconic SMP Sew Mats. They're amazing. You know them. You love them. They help with vibration. They help with noise. I've even heard that people will flip them upside down when they're transporting their machines to and fro to across their different parts of their sewing room. So apparently it works as a good little sewing machine dolly, taking it from each part of your sewing room. But We have so many different colors. We've got 13 different colors available and different sizes as well. And we even have some that are on sale 20% off. So if you did want to invest in one and you didn't win one today, definitely go check out the ones that are on sale. The leopard print's on sale, the American flag, the Best Friends collections in the light blue and the light pink. I think I'm not missing anything. I'm trying to think. If I think of another one, I'll just say it. But let's go ahead and see who is going to win this amazing sew mat, because they are the best. In fact, I need to get one for my desk because I don't have one. So let's see who is going to win. Let's spin. Roger, do a little happy dance with me. Oh, he sat down. Okay. Margine Clough Lines. Congratulations. You have just won a brand new SMP sew mat of your choice. So head to smplive.tv. The website is running right down below. Head to smplive.tv. Can I talk today? I don't even know. smplive.tv. There you go. Find the sew mats, pick out what size and what color you want, and then we will handle the rest. Just fill out your information and obviously let us know what color and what size you want, and we will get that shipped right out to you so you can have a little pizzazz added to your sewing room, maybe a little pop of color. We also have mats that match the brand color. So say if you're a brother, you use a lot of brother machines, baby lock machines, Janome, Bernina, the list goes on and on. We've got a color for you. So there you go. Alrighty. Our next giveaway, because we talked about so many amazing products today, I really wanted to give away a $100 gift card to the amazing SMP Nation to let you guys have an opportunity, or have one lucky person get the opportunity to shop some of the products maybe from today, or stock up, or whatever the case may be, whatever you need to stock up on our website. We've got a lot on there. I mean, believe it or not, we actually have saunas on our website, and I will never live that down because now I really want a sauna. I mean, we could put one right there, you know? Kyle's like laughing in the background. But we've got lots of things. So even if you're all good on a stock up, there's something there for you. Telling you. I frequently just browse our website all the time and just like, oh, nice. Yeah. All right. Dawn Scott, congratulations. You just won a $100 gift card to Sewing Machines Plus, and somebody just made a great comment. Who said it? I gotta find it. Joan Keelan said that she could use it for Fabric Palooza. So, Dawn, if you were planning on coming to Fabric Palooza, joining us live on Thursday, you can definitely use your gift card then. But all you have to do is just head to smplive.tv, scroll down to the bottom of the page, let us know that you won that gift card. Give us we just need your email for the gift card. So as long as we've got your email, we can send that over to you and you can start shopping. How great is that? All right. I'm going to do one more. because I want to, okay? We're going to do one more $50 gift card for everybody to get the chance to win. So make sure you guys are commenting a bunch now so you have the chance. Go, comment. But here is another gift card for you guys. So whatever you may need, anything like that, any needles, threads, whatever's on your to buy list or to get list, or even Reen's new pattern that we just talked about today because it's so good. And I'm probably going to get it today too. So let's spin and see who's going to win. Someone said she can get a new hoop. Hoop and press pads are awesome. There are so many fun things that you guys can try out. Get new. Penny Warner, congratulations. You have just won a $50 gift card to SMP to splurge. So head to smplive.tv to claim that prize. We just need your email, fill out the information that's in the form, and we will get that gift card out to you so that way you can treat yourself whenever that may be. Maybe Fabric Palooza, maybe, I don't know, whatever you want. It's up to you. It's your gift card now. All right, you guys. Well, that is going to wrap up our giveaway portion of the show. So thank you all so much for just being so engaging and just having so much fun during today's show. A lot of people do ask how you can win these giveaways, and what you guys were doing today, commenting, engaging, subscribing, all of that enters you in to getting a giveaway. So anytime you join the show, just give us a comment and then you're entered. That's all you gotta do. You can say hi, you can say whatever you want. Just hop on there, let us know you're here and how you're feeling, and that enters you into the giveaways. So pretty awesome if you ask me. So that is going to wrap up the show today. So thank you all so much for joining us and watching, and a huge thank you to Reen for joining us today on the show. I'm so thankful and grateful that I'm able to have these amazing educators come on the show and teach to all of you guys. I mean, like, I'm in the same shoes as you. I'm sitting here taking notes and learning all these new things all the time. So I'm just very grateful, and I'm just very lucky to have this opportunity to be your guys' host. So thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to go ahead and head out. We have a lot of planning to do in prep for Fabric Palooza and Hoop Fest. So I'm going to get my butt out of here and start working a little bit more. But I hope to see you guys all on Thursday. I will be there, ready to go, ready to show off some amazing fabric, and I hope you guys are ready too, because it's gonna be awesome. Oh, I was gonna lift up a piece of fabric, but Kyle already cleaned it up. It's okay. You'll see it all on Thursday, I promise you. Just wait 2 more days. 2 more days. But yeah, all right, you guys. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week, and let me know. Obviously, join our Facebook group. What are you doing if you're not on it? And share with us some projects that you've been working on through the week. Somebody asked, Lady Fair asked, what time Thursday? 10 a.m. PST for all of our shows. It's always 10 a.m. Always. 9:55 if you want to get really specific. That's when we go live. That's a little secret. I don't think we've ever said that, but we go live at 9:55. So join in to start the show right at 10. And we're going to get started with Fabric Palooza. Woo! Round two. All right, you guys. I hope you guys, again, have a wonderful rest of your week. Let me know what you guys are working on this week and join our Facebook group so that way I can stay connected with more of you and talk to you guys more. All right, you guys. See you guys soon. Say bye, Kyle.
Bye.
Bye, Kyle.
Kyle lost his voice, so there you go. All right. Bye, guys.